What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Jake Fletcher Show. Very excited to be bringing you guys an exciting Art Basel special release, special limited edition podcast here. I'm with a true innovator of the digital art space, Mr. Alejandro Glatt, creator of the crypto Papayas. Alejandro, how you doing today?
Hello, Jake. Thank you so much for inviting me, for being part of this show. We met in NFT Thursday, last Thursday. I just came back to Miami after long travels around the world. Really happy to be back and really happy to be featuring in your amazing project. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. I'm excited that you wanted to come on. This is our first episode featuring a creator of an NFT. And I want to start gearing my channel a little bit more towards crypto stuff, as we were talking about the other day. I feel like there's a lot of information out there. Some of it's not the best information. So I'd like to start bringing people the real raw data, the real information. Been in the space for a while. So let's start off with some basics. What exactly is a crypto papaya?
Okay, that's a great question and something that a lot of people don't understand. So crypto papayas is a unique collection of PFP. PFP is when you launch a whole collection of stuff, and there are 6,969 unique NFTs, everything made with generative art. What does it mean? That I'm taking the crypto papaya as a base, and with different adaptations, with different ways of changing the same shape, we have this all edition. So you can get a yellow one, a green one, with glasses, with a hat. And the whole concept is that it's a candy machine. What this means that when you buy one of our NFTs, you know what you're gonna get until you purchase it and you get the outcome. So it's kind of like a kids machine, candy machine, where you just get something that you don't know what you're gonna get, but now instead of candies, it's with papayas.
Nice, very cool. So no two papayas are alike then.
Exactly.
Very cool. And there's 69,000.
69.
It's 69,669 or 69,000?
69. 6,969 unique editions.
Okay. Awesome. So why papayas? Why not, I don't know, crypto cucumbers or something else?
Actually, funny that you say cucumbers, because they've been asking me what's next, and I say the crypto pepinos. But the crypto papayas, papaya is my spirit fruit. I've been working with fruit for the last 5 or 6 years of my life. I'm a coach, and I guide experiences to connect our senses with fruit. So my journey started really exploring, doing these fruit ceremonies, and then I stepped into the art, making art with actual fruit. And right now, because of the momentum of the world, I stepped into doing NFTs as part of my artistic journey. So papaya is a fruit that really expresses so much. I'm Mexican, born and raised in Mexico, and it's one of our national fruits. So I really decided to take this journey, of course, honoring the divine feminine that papaya represents, and honoring what our world is and the situation where we're right now. So really, papaya, I truly believe, and in all my ceremonies and my experiences, I encourage people to find which is their spirit fruit. And my spirit fruit definitely is a papaya. So that's why we're all feeling the fruit with the papaya.
Nice. That's what's up. And what is a fruit ceremony?
What is a fruit ceremony? That's a great question. So I've been developing all this, let's say, method of connecting with our senses through fruits. For a lot of people, it's really difficult to meditate and to enter to a meditative state. And by practicing a fruit ceremony is practicing awareness through fruits. So I invite people to really touch the fruit, smell the fruit, really have a deep interaction and connection with fruits, and use this as a method to connect with ourselves and with others. So if you come to any of my ceremonies, that I normally do them in beaches around the world, or in parks, or in retreats, or in nice hotels, you could see like a circle of people gathering around fruit and like really putting their hands and connect with the chi, with the energy and the prana of the fruit. So it's a practice that I've been developing, like mixing different techniques with such as the tantra, as the kundalini, as breath work, as meditation. And fruit ceremonies are changing the world. You will see. You will see. It's just the start. And I'm the creator of the fruit ceremonies. I actually had a trademark of fruit ceremony, and I'm the first one doing this in the globe. And a lot of people have been asking me, are interested, and I know it's the start of a big thing in humanity.
That's awesome. I would definitely like to check one of those out sometime. That sounds very interesting.
Thank you. Thank you.
So why Miami? What brought you to Miami, and what guided your path as an artist in doing what you're doing now?
Well, I came to Miami with by coincidence. My friend Jeff Shub told me you should make a fruit ceremony in Miami. Come, stay with me and do one ceremony. I was sure. Like, I don't know about a lot about Miami. I've been when I was a kid, but let's try it. I'm really open to different experimentation. So I came, and people love my project. Like it was crazy how I came for a weekend and ended up staying 4 weeks because just got so many invitations. I got invited to feature in the Mushroom Fest as one of the headliners, and I got invited to do something in a Hana Yoga, yoga center, and it's just like opportunities. As they say, opportunity meets preparation, and it's about timing. So I also came in a time summer when a lot of like the wellness leaders are not in town. So I think I really came in the right moment where I feel I got the right attention of the right people. And Miami is just becoming one of the top wellness spots in the world because there's so many activities happening right now, all these yoga centers, all these meditation places, as well art. So it's when the art meets the wellness and meets the consciousness and meets the NFTs. That's Miami, and that's my project about. I'm really eclectic. I'm really open to different experiences, but Miami right now is popping on all the pillars that my project have. So it's just the right place at the right moment for me to be in here and really getting ready for what's about to happen in all the Art Week in Art Basel. I have more than 15 different shows confirmed, and I'm gonna be basically in all the crypto events and in the art events and in the wellness event. This weekend coming up, it's the 26th to the 28th is this festival called Art With Me, and it's Tulum's. I'm from Tulum, Mexico, and it's Tulum's biggest art festival. And by coincidence, they're doing it for the first time in Miami. So just things are getting together in a really strange but magical way. And I'm just being present and riding the wave at the right place.
That's awesome. That's cool that you're from Tulum. I was there in June of this year and had a blast. It's interesting what you say about this intersection between art and wellness, spirituality, and NFTs. Because for a long time, I would have agreed that, there's a very much a high degree of focus on wellness here in Miami. I mean, especially when you go to places like Brickell or Miami Beach or something, if you don't have like a six pack, you go to those places and you'll be like, damn, I need to get to the gym. There's very much a culture of wellness and well-being, physical well-being here in Miami. I know there's also a high degree of the spiritual connectedness to mental well-being and spirituality here, especially in, like you mentioned, some of the yoga circles and stuff like that. I had never really made the connection before to NFTs. I find that really interesting because, we kind of have been squarely in the crosshairs of the tech movement east, everyone moving out of San Francisco and Silicon Valley. moving towards either Austin or Miami, pretty much. Those are the two cities. And so with that comes everything related to that world, to the tech world, which includes NFTs. So I guess it would be cool to get your sort of macro opinion on NFTs overall, how they're going to affect us in our local communities, how they're going to affect the world. What's your vision of NFTs effect on the world overall?
So I feel, and we had this conversation the day we met, like everything is turning into be a tokenized experience. And I feel and I see this merge happening that everything basically is going to be tokenized. And by being tokenized, everything is transforming into an NFT. Might be a property, might be a piece of art, might be a car, might be any physical asset that we have in the world right now. It's turning into an NFT and being tokenized. Why? Because we as humans have been for the last 300 years used to own stuff physically, but right now we're merging into own things digitally. So basically that's the biggest change in humanity for these years and for this century, I think. The understanding that as humanity, we're merging into owning assets digitally. And art, of course, is the first step. But as you're doing your project with real estate, as there's so many other projects going, we are all getting tokenized our assets, basically. And art is the first step, but it's just the start.
All right, boom. We're back from repositioning to a quieter space. So for anybody out there who wants to get a hands-on look at crypto papayas, you can go to cryptopapayas.io and check that out and kind of follow along while we're talking here. So that is the NFT project. And I'll show you guys Alejandro's website as well, which is alejandroglatt.com. He's also a fantastic photographer and incorporates, as you can see, the papayas and the fruit into some pretty amazing photographic artwork as well. So back onto, and I'll put the links down below for everybody as well in the description, back onto this concept of NFTs, everything being tokenized in the world, these NFTs sort of being our property within the metaverse, right? The metaverse is the space and time, right? The ability to transact with cryptocurrencies outside of central banks, outside of these centralized systems, is essentially a new formation of freedom, of liberty, of the right to exchange between people. And then NFTs are essentially like our property, right? And so we're talking about art as property, right? What are some other forms of property that you think might become useful in the metaverse, aside from art and maybe, like, of course, wearables? We know people want to have 6 skins for their avatars. What are your thoughts as far as like where are things going after art and after wearables?
I think really like owning, like basically plants. We can have trees. We will have land, of course. But I really believe that we will be able to make this like adopt a tree in the metaverse. So I feel like I read I reposted something on Instagram the other day saying that in the metaverse, let me find the correctly, because it was really interesting, this story that I reposted. It said that, wait me 1 second, super interesting.
So
what it was.
We have a crypto papaya here going for 0.621 Solana. So
yes,
crypto papayas are on the Solana blockchain.
Yeah.
Here we go, 69.69 total supply. Only 588 minted, so y'all can still get in on the ground floor. There's still
Yes,
6,181 remaining.
we just launched the project a few weeks ago, and it's going great. And we're now really focusing on building the momentum, on building like everything that we want to be sharing about and making it happen. So it's pretty new, just the start, and Solana going great. How do you feel about Solana?
I have big hopes for Solana. I've been kind of waiting for a big correction to buy some because I have a lot of hopes for it that I think it could surpass Ethereum one day. So 0.621 Solana is about $137. So pretty affordable as far as NFT goes. NFTs, you have like the Bored Apes go for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, these are potentially something people could get in on the ground floor, watch that digital asset appreciate in value, and have a potentially big chunk of their portfolio, become things like these crypto papayas. So what was it? Did you find what you were looking up?
Yes. Yes, it's in Spanish. It's in Spanish and it says, no tiene sentido crear metaversos que copien la realidad, hay que inventar nuevos mundos, which means doesn't make sense to copy reality worlds in the metaverse. We need to invent new worlds, because if we are in the metaverse, we can basically invent anything, and we don't need to specifically take a car with 4 wheels and copy on the metaverse exactly like that. In the metaverse and in this platform, we can really come up with anything. So it's I see a really big learning curve about really creating all types of different creatures and everything in the metaverse, because doesn't make sense to copy what we have in this world. Like, we need to be creative and just create more.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like it makes me think of like whenever you make an avatar name, like people who put their full name as the avatar. And it's like you can do any name that you want. It's a fake world, so you can get creative. So I agree. Yeah, getting creative and creating new things that we can't even really conceive how they'll be important to us now. That's why I was asking you what you think will be next after like art and wearables, because I was thinking about that yesterday, and I'm like, what am I going to need in the metaverse? Because I think the answer to that question is going to answer the question about what things are going to supply the most value for the owners in the metaverse. Is it going to be that you're going to have like some type of VPN that exists as an NFT, or like what are the things that we're going to really need? You know what I mean? I find that to be a very interesting question. Of course, we need art and wearables to flex, but what are we going to do once we're in that metaverse, and how are those things going to assist us in being, of higher status, or being able to do certain activities or be a part of certain events that we otherwise would not have been able to be a part of. I'm also really curious about the intersection between the physical world and the digital world. And outside of like, I get the concept of not copying the physical world in the metaverse. There are some projects that are, for example, mapping entire cities. Like the guys I had on last couple weeks ago, they were mapping Miami and turning Miami into a metaverse. And what I think is interesting, and it doesn't have to be something that copies a city, but what I think is interesting is potentially having, like, let's say the other night at the NFT event, right?
Thursday. Yeah.
We met at on NF Thursdays in the crypto corridor. Let's say that there was an NFT given out for everybody who attended that event, and then they can later on go into the modern art theory metaverse, or let's say it's the XR Miami metaverse or whatever it is. and they can redeem that NFT for, certain prizes, or maybe they're able to access a recording of, all of the speakers and different, panels and stuff like that. Do you think that the metaverse is going to kind of find a sort of balance between linking real world stuff in the metaverse and also just completely, totally new concepts within the metaverse? Or do you think that it's going to drive more towards the ethereal, more towards just made up things and sort of help to separate us from the real world?
I'm a true believer, and as my project is basically focused on nature, that we are like there we're stepping into two ways. One way is a totally abstract and creative world of like things that doesn't exist in this planet, and the other one is all this like what we call the Figital. Figital is when you have something physical and digital at the same time. And it's the fact of owning something physical and at the same time owning that same stuff digitally. So, for example, like my pieces, my art piece, that you can own it physical and digitally. I think that that's a big trend as well in the world, to be owning something that you have it on this world and at the other world at the same time. I think that's one of the biggest trends at the same time of the other one that we were talking before. So we're encouraging people to get something, for example, I don't know, a book that you have it, or a skin that you were saying that you have it here in this world and at the same time in the metaverse. So I think that's a big trend happening already.
I agree. Actually, I've been actually saying for a couple months and telling a lot of the artists that I've met, I think that artists that start combining a physical world asset, whether it be, something expensive or not, is not the point, but some kind of physical item that's connected to that NFT takes it to like the next level. Like, for example, let's say there's like a rare papayas or something like that. And and they're super rare and there's only 10 of them or something like that. And then with each one, you also get like those necklaces that you guys had the other night, like the necklaces. Maybe you get a necklace or something like that. And then it's something that's, also, you have this NFT, but you also have this physical item in the real world that's like a conversation starter. And, it brings more attention to the project. It also validates the owner more, it's like something that they can hold and that they feel that's real. And it almost makes that other digital asset have more perceived value, maybe for some people. But yeah, I think that's a really interesting concept. And I think I'm looking forward to seeing more artists doing stuff like that. Now your art, well, first, let me ask you, describe to me like your progression as an artist. Like, how did you start as an artist and how did you get to where you are now? What types of
I started by doing video mapping. I was like really into mapping and DJing. So I was like, I have a background in event production, and I found out that there's not a lot of like DJs doing visuals in Mexico City, where I grew up. So I started doing this like DJing and mapping. And after that, I really got interested in doing art, in promoting artists. So I started this platform to promote emerging artists. And then I found out just fruit as a coincidence as by playing. And I decided, like, since I was a kid, my dream has been always to be an artist and to really like make big change in the world and change world perspective through art. So it's been one of my goals since I was a young kid. And I feel like after learning how to promote other artists and after learning different mediums, like such as like all these digital platforms and also the installation, and also have like a traveling a lot and have like a global vision of like what is art and what is like the world, I came up with this idea of like conscious practice of something such simple as fruit, and taking fruit that is part of nature to an artistic realm where I'm inviting people to not see fruit as something we just take and eat and not process it, but to really connect with our senses and mixing art with it as well. So as I was explaining, it's like consciousness, art, and technology, the pillars of my whole movement. The movement is called Feel the Fruit. And in Feel the Fruit are just like coming so many different opportunities and different like mediums. And as I was saying, I know it's just the start of a lot of things that will be happening. This is my first time in Art Basel, actually. It's my first time presenting for like in shape, and I know it's gonna be big. This project, it's blowing up and just getting people's attention and attracting so many different collectors and investors and people who want to be part of the movement, because everyone wants to feel the fruit. Really, like everyone loves fruit. Exactly.
Yeah. So I know you have limited time, and I wanted to make sure that we talked about kind of the business side of this, because this podcast is, it centers around entrepreneurialism, of course, also, real estate, self-development, and tech. But, that entrepreneurialism is a big aspect of the NFT space. There's a lot of people, yourself included, creating NFT projects, and, a lot of them are becoming wildly successful. I'm sure for every successful one, there's, non-successful ones as well. But it seems like you guys are starting to see some good success and things are picking up. Let me start with this. Is this an art project or is this a business?
I studied entrepreneurship as my degree, and I've been always artistic, but with a entrepreneurial vision of my projects. Because at the end of the day, you can just be making art, but being an artist is much more than just making art. Like, it's about having a vision, about having a business model, about having the right ways, the revenue streams, and really understand the business model. Because I consider myself an entrepreneur and an artist, because if you only make art, I feel it's really difficult. It's a matter of understanding your niche, your market, and always think about 10x and about expansion and about how to make a big impact in the world.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I feel it's unfortunately very rare that artists also have that business sense, which it seems like you do. And the reason I asked that question, like I did, it's almost obvious that the answer is it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of business, a little bit of art. It's a mixture of the two. But it's interesting to see how artists respond and react to that question of, is it a business? Because, I find that some people, it's almost like an insult that like, oh, my art is art, it's nothing other than art. And, I know so many artists that they're not, doing as well as they could be because they don't implement those theories of business and, solid business practices and treating it like a job. And I know you're on this whole NFT tour. I mean, like you said, you have 50 events scheduled for Art Basel. I mean, you're hitting it hard. So in terms of, like the financial structure, like how does, if I buy that crypto papaya for 0.6 Solana, which we said was like about 130, 140 bucks, what percentage of that goes back to you as the creator, and what percentage goes elsewhere? Describe the breakdown for me.
Yeah, so I have we're three parties in this project. I have a 35% of the project as the artist. Initially, I had a 50%, but like situations led me to reduce my amount. And we're working together. It's my first time working with these guys, which I we have, we have been having like a bright moments, dark moments, and as every entrepreneurial project, you're aiming the best and your expectations are high, and then you come with surprises. So it's been a lot of learning for the three parties in this. Like, I'm based in Tulum, Chris is based in Charlotte, and the developers are and Peter based in Texas. So like, we're really like different parts of the world working together, and we're like working with the whole marketing team, and definitely a lot of learnings for myself for other projects that I know it's not my first PFE NFT collection. A lot of learnings and a lot of like yes, learning by experience of what to do and what not to do for next partnerships and for next projects. Because normally, as the artist, when you partner with someone, you partner with someone who is really going to take over all the marketing and someone who is going to take over all the development. So for next projects, I know I need to have a more clear vision of what am I going to do, when, and how. Because as we've just been speaking, I have so many projects going on at the same time, and I want to be able to partner with someone who's like a 100% committed and doing what they're supposed to do. But like, no bad thoughts, no bad feelings. It's just learning and just like experiencing for next projects and for next ventures that are happening already.
Yeah, all very important stuff. And for all the people out there listening that might be potentially considering designing their own NFT, what words of advice do you have for those people? And I guess give us a little bit of background on how do you create an NFT, and from the point of creating it to making it live on some exchange.
My biggest advice, and when people ask me, the difficult thing is not to create the NFT. The difficult thing is to sell the NFT. So if you don't focus on your strategy, if you don't focus on how you're going to market, if you don't focus on how you're going to sell it, you can spend 30 hours designing your NFT. But people actually don't buy NFTs because they think they're beautiful or they're cool. People buy NFTs because they see a value on it, and they see it as an investment for the future, and they see it because they want to be a part of a community, and they see it because they want to be part of a movement. By today, all my collectors and all my investors have got my NFTs because they see a potential on the project. So focus more on the vision, focus more on the community building, focus more on the impact, focus more on the give back than the actual art. That makes a lot of sense with your question of if I'm an artist or if I'm an entrepreneur. So yes, everyone can take a pencil, draw something, and make a piece of art and digitalize it and tokenize it as an NFT. But the real challenge is to sell, to have profits, to make an impact, and to really have a proper strategy of how you're gonna impact the chain.
Definitely good advice. And so what is that process once you've sort of designed the artwork itself? How do you bring it to market?
Well, Discord is right now like the hottest network to build community. So I have a solid fan base in Instagram, where I'm like every day posting what I'm doing, and Twitter as well. But like, basically it's about making people join your group, join your community. Discord, like, for example, for us, before the launch day, we had almost 3,000 people in our Discord group. But like, I've seen launches that they have, I don't know, 20,000, 30,000 people in their Discord. So when you are doing the launch date, you're like solid, you have a solid project enough to sell out immediately, because people are already engaged, and people are already wanting and waiting for that specific date. So if you build the correct momentum and you make people really be aware and people be excited about this launch date, you work everything, and your launch date, your mint date, it's just the final step of the process. It's not the first step of the process. A lot of people just create the NFT, and once they create it, they make all the promotion about it. But the real thing and what is working in the world is to do all your strategy, all your marketing, make people whitelist, make people RSVP before the launch date. So whenever you make the launch, people mint immediately and you sell out that same hour or that same day. So everything is out in the strategy.
And so how do you connect it then to the Solana blockchain? Like how do you make it linked so that people can buy it with their Solana?
So we develop our own platform like papayas.io, and people need to have a Solana wallet in order to mint. But again, it's in our own platform. So it's the hardest way, the most tough way, but we wanted to have our own platform. As you can see, you can put a select wallet and just get your NFTs done. It's about selecting and putting and making it happen.
So we would go select wallet, and then we have these options here.
Yes.
Connect a wallet, and we would obviously fund one of these wallets with our Solana.
Exactly.
Once we do, cryptopapayas.io will recognize our funds that are available, and we'll be able to purchase.
Exactly. Yes, it's easy, it's simple, and it's about just getting your crypto papaya before they sell out.
Definitely. Oops, how did I go? There we go. Gallery. Boom.
Yes.
Last question. Are there any other NFT projects that have really inspired you or that you feel like are just super badass? That sort of, I guess inspired you to lead you to creating the Crypto Papayas? Or were you just like, hey, I'm getting in on this NFT thing, I'm doing my own thing?
I haven't seen any other fruit NFT, actually. Like, I feel like I'm doing the first fruit NFT projects, but other projects that I like, I support one that are called the Fluff, that are these bunnies, and they're like in the Metaverse with different like backgrounds. They sold out, and they're doing this Art Basel event on December 4th in the Broken Shaker, Miami Beach, and they invited me. I'm gonna be the main artist presenting. So they basically I'm cutting a piece like the background of the bunny, and I'm putting like an intervention with fruits on it. So I love that projects like Fluff World are open to other artists, even if they're not part of their collections, but they want to have these like other artists collaborating. So I'm happy to be joining forces with them and to be one of their artists in their physical events. So it's gonna be December 4th on the Broken Shaker South Beach. If you want to come, you need to own a Fluff. So you should join us. And also we're doing a Crypto Papaya Fest on December 4th, and it's access only for Crypto Papaya holders, which it means that you need to be part of the community, and it's going to be our first physical event where holders can connect with other holders.
Okay. Wow. So I need to buy a Crypto Papaya before then so I can come check it out.
Please.
December 4th.
Exactly.
Where is that?
No, it's December 6th. December 6th in Miami Beach as well.
Okay.
We're getting everything ready. Exactly. We're solving all the last steps. We cannot reveal our venue because it's gonna be on a house, so it's a private house and next to the ocean.
Private
so
event.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna make sure to have my Crypto Papaya by then.
Exactly.
So awesome. Well, Alejandro, it was great speaking with you. For everybody out there, before you go, just so you guys can get one last little look here. Full screen. I messed up. And there we go. Okay, so you've got cryptopapayas.io. You've also got Alejandro's photography and other work at alejandroglatt.com. That's for the people listening, ALEJANDROGLATT.com. You can follow the Crypto Papayas on Instagram at Crypto Papayas, none other than, and on Twitter at also at Crypto Papayas. So those are the places to follow them, check them out, see what they're doing, what they're up to, and follow the journey. I know I will definitely be following the journey. I'll be definitely coming out to some Art Basel events and wish you all the success with the project. And thanks so much for coming on the show. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Jake, and it's a pleasure. And keep doing what you're doing. It's a great project.
Thank you so much. And for everybody out there, you have been listening to the Jake Fletcher Show. Make sure to go grab your Crypto Papayas right now before they sell out. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, sell smart, buy bold. Peace.